Have you ever had a gut feeling that something was wrong? A physical sensation in your stomach that shifted your mood? For Eleanor, a 68-year-old retired teacher, that feeling wasn't just a saying, it was a literal warning. She was living in a state of constant anxiety and a brain fog so thick she would forget familiar names. She feared the worst, thinking it was the start of cognitive decline or something irreversible in her brain. But the shocking truth wasn't in her head. It was hidden deep within her digestive system. She was about to discover that her gut was the exact mirror of her mental state. Eleanor's life became small and scary. She stopped driving because she didn't trust her own reflexes. The joy of reading books vanished because she couldn't focus on the words or follow the story. Doctors looked at her blood work and said she was fine for her age. But she didn't feel fine. She felt hijacked by her own mind, living on a roller coaster of emotions she couldn't control. She didn't know that inside her lived trillions of invisible architects, microscopic organisms controlling her fate. It wasn't just about what she ate, but about who was eating that food inside of her. The balance of her inner garden had been destroyed, and the weeds were sending panic signals to her brain. She was suffering from something science now calls dysbiosis, a civil war in her gut. This hidden connection between the gut and the brain is the most important medical breakthrough of 2025. So many of us treat anxiety and lack of focus with mental remedies, ignoring the physical root of the problem. Eleanor's story is a map for anyone who wants to unlock their true brain power. If you want to understand how your body really works and reclaim your clarity, you are in the right place. Please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss any details of this vital discovery. Eleanor's turning point came when she stumbled upon an article about the gut-brain axis. She read about a biological superhighway inside her, a direct line between her stomach and her mind. She discovered that most of her serotonin, the happiness hormone, isn't made in the brain, but in the gut. Her gut bacteria were the chemical factories determining whether she felt happy or anxious. It was as if she discovered the steering wheel of her car wasn't in the driver's seat, but in the trunk. She realized she had neglected these workers for decades, feeding them sugar and stress. The inflammation in her gut wasn't just stomach discomfort, it was a fire that was burning her brain. She knew she needed to put out this fire, but she didn't know how to start rebuilding this microscopic world. She was ready to try anything to get her mind back, and the solution was waiting in the kitchen. Eleanor looked at her pantry and saw it for what it really was, a minefield of processed inflammation. She realized that every time she ate sugar, she was feeding the enemy army in her gut. The bad bacteria hijacked her cravings, screaming for more sweets to survive and keep her anxious. She decided to starve them out. It was time for a radical change in what she put on her plate. She threw away the cookies, the white bread, and the frozen dinners that promised convenience but delivered fog. Her kitchen became her pharmacy, and her grocery list became her medical prescription. Changing your diet after 60 feels impossible, like trying to learn a new language overnight. But Eleanor's journey proves that your taste buds can change and your brain can heal. If you are rooting for Eleanor and want to know the specific food she chose, show your support. Hit the like button to help us spread this message of healing to others who are suffering. And subscribe now, because we are about to reveal the 3 holy foods that saved her mind. She started with what the article called prebiotics, the fertilizer for the good bacteria. She learned that fiber wasn't just for digestion. It was the actual food for her mental health allies. She began eating onions, garlic, and asparagus, foods rich in the fibers her good bacteria loved. At first her stomach rumbled and protested, a sign of the internal battle taking place. But she kept going, imagining the good bacteria growing stronger with every meal she ate. Then she introduced the probiotics, the live cultures found in fermented foods like sauerkraut and yogurt. These were the reinforcements, new soldiers parachuting in to retake the territory of her gut. By the end of the first week, the sugar cravings were intense, almost painful. But she didn't give in. She knew that the dying bad bacteria were fighting back, trying to trick her brain one last time. She drank water, she ate her fiber, and she waited for the storm to pass. On the 10th day, she woke up and noticed something strange. The house was quiet, and so was her mind. The house was quiet, but for the first time in years, a 68-year-old Eleanor's mind was quiet too. The constant hum of anxiety was gone, replaced by an unfamiliar calm. She knew the soil was changing, but now she needed to rebuild the structure of the brain itself. She discovered that her brain is largely made of fat, and she had been starving it. She introduced what the article called the brain builders, omega-3 fatty acids. She started eating sardines and walnuts, foods she previously avoided for fear of fat. She learned that these fats were the bricks needed to repair neurons damaged by inflammation. Along with that, she added polyphenols, colorful compounds found in blueberries and dark chocolate. They acted like a shield, protecting her new garden and feeding the bacteria that reduce stress. We often think brain health is complex, but sometimes it comes down to giving the body the right bricks. Eleanor was rebuilding her mind, one nutrient-dense meal at a time. If you want to know the final result of this transformation and the daily habits she kept, stay with us. Hit the like button if you believe in the power of food as medicine, and subscribe now, because the final proof of Eleanor's healing will move you. 3 weeks after starting her journey, Eleanor was sitting in her armchair with a book. It was a complex novel she had tried to read months ago but abandoned out of confusion. She started reading, and the words flowed. The images formed clearly in her mind. She read a whole chapter, then another, completely immersed without having to reread a single sentence. When she closed the book, she realized she was crying, but not from sadness. She was crying because she had just remembered the name of a minor character from 50 pages ago. Her memory was coming back. The fog had lifted completely. She picked up the phone and dialed her daughter's number without needing to look at the contact list. "Hi, honey," she said with a steady and clear voice. "I'm back." She hadn't just regained her mind, she had regained her confidence and her life. But there was one final lesson, a warning about how to keep this new balance forever. Eleanor discovered that her new healthy brain needed constant protection against an old enemy. Stress, she learned, could shut down the good bacteria just as fast as sugar. She realized her gut wasn't just a fuel tank. It was a sensitive mirror of her emotions. If she got anxious, her stomach stopped. And if her stomach stopped, her mind got cloudy. To break this cycle, she adopted the last habit of the protocol, the digestive pause. Before every meal, she stopped for 1 minute to breathe deeply and calm her vagus nerve. This told her body it was safe to digest, turning every meal into an act of healing. Today, Eleanor is no longer the scared woman who feared losing her mind. She has returned to volunteer reading classes at the local library. Her mind is sharp as ever. She tends to her inner garden with the same love she tends to her flowers. She knows that every forkful is a vote for clarity or a vote for fog. Her anxiety is gone, not because she suppressed it, but because she healed the root. She looked in the mirror this morning and smiled, seeing not an old woman, but a renewed one. Eleanor's journey proves that your gut is the silent guardian of your mind. Take care of it, and it will take care of you, returning the joy and clarity you deserve. Thank you for taking this moment. For yourself, health is not a race. It's a daily ritual. Take your cup of care, and we'll see you at the next longevity coffee.